right
What
away.
what is the
Yeah.
business?
It's landscaping.
Where
Oh,
they find you,
look at
bro?
that.
How do they get a hold of you?
You can get a hold of me at 817-805-7471. The number again is 817-805-7471.
All
If
right.
you need the job done the right way, just get a hold of me.
Hit him up.
Yeah. Let me also do one more thing.
Yeah,
'cause
go for it, bro.
I told my nieces and my nephews I would do this. I'm going to give a shout out to them.
All right.
So it's going to be shout out to Fabian, Zamira, Iris, Bradley, August, of course, Batchers, David. Let me also do Anais.
Don't forget anybody, bro.
I'm trying not
Chinchilla.
Yeah, Chincha. Shout out to Chincha. And then I just there was another one. I'll be honest with you, that my mom went blank after that. But now I appreciate you guys having me on the podcast, and I enjoyed it. It was pretty cool. Like I said, it came out better than I expected.
We want to have you on again.
Welcome to the Turntables Podcast. I'm High Roller the Don. I got my co-host here today. I got DJ Ray Funk and Two Turn Edward. Today I got the privilege to introduce a special guest, Rudy Portillo.
What's up, Rudy?
What's going on, guys? It's nice to be here. Finally, I get to meet Edward's brother here for the first time.
What's going on?
Yeah, man.
And it's been a long time since we've seen each other, Edward.
Been a while.
It has been a while.
Been a while.
Been good catching up the last hour, but
bro.
I'm excited, man. I mean, especially because you got a platform now. Look at you, all famous.
Working it.
And give my 5 minutes of fame real
Working
quick.
it, bro. We're working
In our case, maybe 2 minutes.
2 minutes. Yeah, you know, it's so funny. I've actually prepared my entire life, you know, envisioned myself on a podcast, you know, with all my shower talks and.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say. I thought you were gonna say something like your whole life has been leading up to this moment.
Yeah, well, it has been too. Yeah,
That's cool, bro.
It feels like that, right? It feels like
What did you call it?
The shower talks.
Yeah.
Shower talks.
That's why all the thinking goes on. For real.
Definitely the think tank. Huh?
Yeah.
Especially whenever you want to get your vocalizations right. You know, you start hitting that high note, the low notes. You know.
Yeah, for sure, bro.
Yeah.
Cool, man.
Well, welcome, man. Welcome,
on, bro. Good to see you again, and I know Harold.
Oh yeah, it's been a long time coming, bro. It's been a long time coming today. You know, obviously we got some. I got some pretty dope questions coming up, but you know we could keep it regular right now. You know, keep it light, keep it fun. So how are you doing, Ray?
Doing all right, man.
You
all right.
like I said earlier, you look like a offensive coordinator.
Offensive coordinator,
bro. You
yeah.
look like you're finna take. What's his name? What's the
nice
coach?
gear.
What's the coach's
Is
name?
that you, bro?
No,
looks
I just
neat.
hardly
And the
wear it
cup,
because of.
too? Damn,
Cup.
I mean, it just kind of happened to work out that way.
Wow.
And the socks.
No, not the socks.
That'd have been cool, though.
No, it's just this is my only dry fit gear that I have, and it's hot out there, man.
Yeah.
Cowboys for life.
You're telling
Shout out
me.
Cowboys.
I was out there earlier. It was like 100 degrees out there. I think. During 12 o'clock, and I was drenched. I'm talking about 30 minutes out there just pulling weeds. I was like soaked, dude. I was like, man.
Bro.
Yeah, I felt like I got skin cancer for a second.
Bro,
Yeah.
that's why, bro. I'm telling you, I don't know why I never thought about doing it sooner. But getting the armor, Under Armour, and covering it's keeping my body so nice and cool, bro.
Yeah,
I don't know why it took so long to get one.
Yeah,
but now I'm gonna get 2 more because they're keeping my skin from getting burned, and it's keeping me cool, bro.
Yeah, that's crazy.
It freaking works great.
It's crazy. Long sleeves. You figure it'd be
It'd be hot.
Yeah,
It'd be hot, bro.
That's kind of where I wore this, but
yeah, bro.
it's still hot.
Yeah, like the Under Armour stuff.
Yeah,
it kept me cool.
You know,
go ahead.
You should get one of those neck band fans. You know, like you put it around your neck.
my wife
Like
Jessica's
AC
got
thing?
those. Yeah.
I got one for my mom. She said it works really well. I should get one though.
Is that one of the ones where like the water gets soaked in, like the cold water?
No,
I don't even know how it works, to be honest.
No, I think you're talking about
It's just a fan, so it's like it's got like battery in the band, and then it's got 2 little fans on the side.
It keeps your your chin or your face.
Yeah, it just blows air up.
Yeah, look at us promoting.
Interesting. Interesting. Man, so I just wanted to let people know that I watched this window behind the camera so damn well that a fucking bird flew into it and died.
It was a flock of
Sorry
them.
about that.
It just happened like 10 minutes ago. 10, 20 minutes ago.
And look, his wife is right there in the trees, just sad as shit,
bro. Oh, that's so sad.
Hey, but I think that you remember. I don't know if y'all remember because I had my Doberman.
Yeah,
he was a badass Doberman, bro. You're the only one that does know. I had a Doberman, bro. He was freaking awesome. I named him Troy because you know that story from that movie Troy. Like they get that big old horse. And then they hide in the horse.
Oh yeah.
The
Trojan.
They go in and and they go in and they
look like Troy.
They take over the little city or whatever.
Yeah.
But that's why I called him Troy because he looked like a damn horse. But anyways, the reason why I bring that up is because I'm almost positive that that's the bird, bro. It would come and harass my dog, bro. Every single day, like around noon.
That would be.
It would come and just poke him. It had a long ass, sharp ass beak. And it'd come and just poke him in the ass, and then like Troy would just be like, bro, and it just fly away. It just keep on going like, bang.
That might be his son. It's been so long though.
Fly away.
Yeah,
it might be his son.
I'm just saying. I hope that's that bird because
Wow.
And I don't even think Troy was a dog. It was more like a baby reindeer.
Good sound.
I was always wondering why he had horns and he just was prancing around.
I think he was just. I thought you were gonna say something like, I think he was just a figment of our imagination.
Oh man,
he was just. Nah, he was like a baby reindeer. Honestly, he was thawing.
Bro, he was badass, bro. I remember one time, bro. He was crossing the street, bro. He was a Great Dane. He was tall, bro. He's like a Great Dane, stood tall. And he was like, one day, he was just hauling ass. I'm just chilling on the front porch, just chilling. And then you just see him sprint across the street, and a freaking bus hit him. Boom! And he went flying into the neighbor's yard, and he got up and walked it off.
Bro, his foot was like all the way like that, though, bro. He was walking on 3 feet. I remember. He was walking on 3 feet. Like jacked up.
Bro, that dog was invincible. Remember one time
that was tough.
Another story. One time it was like 3:00 in the morning, and I just wake up to, and I'm like, what the hell? And I go to the backyard, and there's this big headed ass pit bull, bro, and Troy is tearing this dog up, bro. You would think that this dog would be killing Troy, but hell no, bro. Troy was tearing. It was like the day after or a couple of days after he got hit by that school bus. His legs all broken and shit, and he's like killing this pit bull in my backyard. Bro, Troy was a beast, bro. He was.
By the way, if you need your windows clean, give me a call. 817-852-5301. Get your windows clean.
So clean.
Speaking of wings, what is it? So clean what?
That the dead birds speak for it.
The dead birds would confirm it, how clean they are.
Got a body count. Got a dead bird body count. All right. Well, y'all want to fall into it or what?
Let's do it.
Yeah, just jump into it.
So these are just I ain't gonna lie, I've cheated in the past where
you cheater.
Right, I've cheated in the past when it comes to these questions, but this time these questions came. I say cheat because I have AI assist me sometimes, but this time I these came from me. So we're chilling the last time, right? And we're talking about we talk about a lot of stuff, man, like just being like integral, you know what I mean? Like, you know, respect and, you know, just having value as a man. So my first question, you know, to Rudy, obviously after he answers, y'all can chime in. What is, like, if anything, one thing, or if you can name 3 things that just like defines a man? Like, well, what defines a man in your opinion? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, so to me, I know that my values and my morals might lie somewhere else. It might be different, you know, from what y'all or your opinions might be. But I mean, to me, what makes a man and 3 values, I want to first start off with patience. Patience for me, it was so hard for me as a kid because I just never learned it from nobody. You know, we were always on the move. Just always in a rush, trying to get that instant gratification of just doing things.
Right.
And, you know, the reason I bring patience up too is because, like I said, I was living life like at 100 miles per hour.
Nah, for real.
And, you know, it wasn't until like just recently, like maybe like 5 years ago, I started to understand like, man, patience is a key to being successful in life. Right. Because what I felt like is that, you know, we didn't have any plan, any structure, so we just kind of jumped into things and we didn't even think about the consequences that came with it.
I think we still do that.
Yeah,
sometimes.
Yeah. But
the choices, yeah.
But whenever you become aware of having patience, you begin to like step out of that box and view things from the outside looking in. And when you start to wait on things instead of like jumping into it like that, the rewards that you were expecting comes almost straight to you. Because when you start jumping into things, like I said, the consequences aren't necessarily something that you think about in that moment. And like I said, when I was a kid, instant gratification was the thing. I wanted it. I wanted it now. I would get angry. I would get, frustrated. I would, react, based off emotion. You know what I mean? It was
instead of logic.
All emotion, no logic. I would never think about it, and it bit me in the ass. It bit me like nothing else. But now that I think about it, like I said, because I understand now that how valuable patience is, I try to assert it into my lifestyle, because it takes a lot of patience when you're raising kids.
Oh yeah.
Especially when you're raising kids. And dude, they drive me crazy sometimes. But like I said, I try to restrain myself, and I try to take that second just to step out of my
comfort
zone and try to view, okay, Rudy, look, sometimes I'll talk to myself like, hey, Rudy, okay, look, take an actual look of what's going on and try to evaluate the situation and try to plan out the next move instead of just reacting right away. And I feel like nowadays when I do so, I avoid a lot of conflict, or I kind of stop myself from doing any further damage. You know what I mean? Because like I said, with the patience thing, man, it was hard for me, extremely hard. I mean, I couldn't, man, if like I said, that's just one of the key things that I feel as a man, when you start to grow and understand and have awareness of your surroundings, that's one of the key things that you kind of must have.
Yeah.
Another thing too was adaptation and self-control.
How to adapt.
Yes. With adaptation, I feel as if life's always coming at you. It never stops. You can't press pause.
Right.
You can't rewind.
I wish.
Right. Yeah. You can't rewind. You can't move forward and see what's beyond the choices that you make. You can't look into the future necessarily. So whenever a situation arises and you kind of have to think on your feet, you got a split second to think about your decision and what you got to do. But the thing is though, is that when it comes down to the adaptation, you also got to understand that your choices affect the people around you as well. Oh, yeah. Definitely do. It's being self-conscious is just aware of other people, being considerate of other people. Yeah. Because I used to make a lot of decisions the same way I used to, not have any patience. I just the adaptation thing was just, I just felt so overwhelmed at times. You know what I mean?
Because you're having to think on your feet all the time.
All the time.
Right.
All the time. And growing up, it was different. Things were different back then. People don't get me wrong, people have problems, kids have problems nowadays, but I feel like a lot of people that I've come across didn't have the same problems as we did. Like, oh, my dad didn't pay for my car, or oh, my mom, she's grounded me or something.
Entitled, people that were entitled that we were the have-nots kind of.
Yeah, and I'm not using that as a crutch. Like, I really don't want to use that as a crutch to kind of explain my lifestyle or anything. I just bring it up only because, like I said, we kind of grew up in a different environment. And
nothing was handed to you.
Nothing was handed to me. And like I said, you just kind of had to adapt. You wanted money, you go out and go get it. Or you wanted some food, you go out and go get it. You wanted to be somewhere, you got to go get up and go do it, or go up and get it yourself. And with the adaptation, it was just like, if you didn't have that, what do they call it? Like los pilas, like putting batteries in. Like, if you didn't have that with you, like, you didn't have
that ambition, that drive.
Yeah, if you didn't have it, you weren't gonna get in.
You're fucked.
Yeah, basically. And I mean, with everything happened so quick, rents due, waters due,
need food.
You like I said, you got to adapt to those situations to know how, in order to survive. What it kind of.
So what
was.
do you do, or what did you do? Like, what was an example of what you did? Because you said going back, like you said, you had to learn patience, and at the same time you had to adapt, but you had to also think on your feet and think kind of quickly. So what would you do?
Like survive and hustle.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I just I had to jump in the deep end. I didn't really have a choice. I mean, I don't think really.
Yeah, I think you started working like at 14 or something.
I was working at 14, and I would kill myself at my jobs. You know what I mean? I would put in. I was staying late.
I remember
hours. Doing more than 2 or 3 people put together, and I'm not bragging on that. All I'm saying is that I will always go above and beyond for these businesses.
Yeah, you had to.
Thinking that, okay, from like how we talked about the other day, I said, I feel like I've been kind of lied to, because it was like when you're young, people tell you, hey, work hard and you'll be able to be where you want to be, or work hard and you'll be able to move up the ladder.
Yes.
Yeah, it is. And what was crazy to me is that my belief system was so strong in that I was thinking everything that I was doing was gonna slingshot me to where I wanted to be.
Right.
And in reality, look how many years have passed by, and none of us have ever had. I don't know about you, Ray. I can't speak for you because I don't really know you that well. But how many of you can say that you've had a management position, or that you've been, like a lead supervisor, or you've been something above.
Above the regular workers.
Above the regular workers. After all these years, with as much as experience as you had, I think you mentioned to me the other day too that they had hired a new guy at your job, right? And they made him lead, right? No experience, he just got there.
Yeah, it's some stuff, right? Because it's kind of racial, but I get to do this. I feel like because I'm a straight up Mexican without papers, not whatever. Come get me. Yeah. And so it's like. This dude, these guys, like, I think they were like Cuban or something, or I don't. Yeah, pretty sure. Yeah, because they're no Colombian, because they were talking about they just came from over there, and but they had been working there for like 3 years, almost going on 4 years, and this new kid, he started whenever I started, and these guys, they don't talk no English, and like not even 2 days later, they put this kid in charge of everything. Of scanning these boxes and talking to the truck driver and everything like that. And they were getting pissed, you know what I mean? Because he was like, he was above them, and only because of the fact that he spoke English. And I was just like, damn, like kind of laughing, you know what I'm saying? It was funny to me because I knew that I was gonna end up in a different department anyway.
Right.
And so like I was kind of joking, it was kind of cruel what I said. But like we're outside by the taco truck, and then I was like, man, they're in there talking shit about you. Danny was like, I know. He's like, I know. They don't want to do shit. They don't want to listen to me. And I was like, yeah, man. I was like, these other guys, they wish they were in your position because they've been here for years. And I told my supervisor, I was like, well, they should have fucking learned English. he was like, you're cold for that. And I was like, hey, I'm Mexican. I learned English.
Very lot of truth to that.
I learned it. I learned it. I had to. But because you sink or swim.
And that's what I'm saying about adaptiveness. It's like you got to think on your feet.
Yeah.
Like we didn't have a chance to really think about what needed to be done other than what we wanted to do. You know what I mean? Because like I said, we just had to dive in head first and then just get on it. Figure it out. Figure it out
as you go.
Exactly.
Learning curves.
Exactly. And that's exactly, I'm pretty sure how our parents kind of learned too. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because they had to.
Like I said, they didn't really have a choice, but adaptiveness, I feel as a man, that's definitely a necessity. Because I mean, you have other people relying on you, depending on you.
Yeah, to eat.
You know what I mean? Your kids, your family, or whoever it might
Siblings.
be. You might be taking care of, somebody sick, or you might be taking care of other people's kids. When they look up to you, when they look to you to be the provider,
right, to eat,
what are you gonna do?
Yeah, like David said, what are you gonna do?
What are you gonna do? Do what I.
It's funny because I say we bring that as it's something that me and him have always said to each other. Because I don't know if you really want to say what David has, but like, David, his younger brother, he's younger. How old is David?
I think he's about 26 now.
26. So like whenever we were younger and like it's funny because we would like complain to this youngster And you know what I mean? Like not to him, but like we'd be complaining around him, like, man, how am I gonna do this? I gotta do this, this and this and that. And his response was always the same, bro. What are you gonna do?
What are you gonna do?
Like, okay, I hear you, but what are you gonna do? You know, like all silly, bro. Like it's just like
the way he said it too.
Like,
was funny,
like
bro.
screw you, David. You know what I mean? You don't understand my problems, bro. I don't know what I'm gonna do. That's the point.
And that was like the reality of things too. It was just like
every day.
It was the reality.
You want to share a little bit about your position your brother's in or anything? So just to get a little,
you don't have to.
Just so the audience can get a better
understanding
of the position you've been, because it's a hardship, bro.
Yeah, it is.
You know, it's good to highlight the hardship that you go through or have gone through, or
and you know, I will put some input on that too, because I feel like he was a huge part of my growth. And he was actually
David.
He was actually the what motivated me to write my 3 values. Because I took him in when I think he was like 21, and I had just gotten out from doing my little time or whatever. And he kind of motivated me. I seen my grandma's house wasn't there anymore. It was burned down. I had to think quick, like, okay, you know what? David's out with my aunt. He's, you know, for a lot of people who don't know, I know I didn't really get a chance to elaborate, but my brother has muscular dystrophy. And if you know what that is, it's just like a decline in your muscular structure. So basically, you know, over time, your muscles become, start to deteriorate. And, you know, right now, he's not able to do much for himself. I got to help him out a lot, but, you know, that's as far as I'm, you know, saying.
Okay, that's fine, bro.
You know,
just to give a little backstory.
Yeah, just a little idea. But he's the one who kind of motivated as soon as I got out. When I seen him living with my aunt, I was like, man, I gotta do something. I gotta
step up.
I gotta step up. Like he didn't have a dad. I didn't have a dad. Chincha didn't really have a dad, which is my sister. But you know, we didn't have no father figure. So with me being the oldest now, it's like I had to be the one to get everybody out of that situation. It was like that. It was like that silver lining. I have my chance now. I'm highly motivated. Like that, they're my motivation. Okay. And once I took him in, I had to understand, okay, there's needs that he has that I need to keep an eye out for.
Yeah, tend to.
And tend to. And dude, in the beginning, I'm not gonna lie to you, it was hard. Needed a lot of patience, and I just didn't have it.
Yeah.
I didn't have it.
Yeah.
I didn't have none of that.
Yeah.
And just with working with him,
I can imagine, bro.
We would both get frustrated at each other. You know, have our little, you know, squirrel or whatever.
Arguments.
Yeah. And you know, I just wasn't understanding. There would be times, every days where I sit on my couch and I just be looking zoned out, just thinking, what am I doing wrong? What am I need to observe my actions and what I'm doing wrong, because there's obviously something wrong. You know what I mean? Like things aren't going the way that I had intentionally planned to. And it just seemed like I was doing everything not for them, if that makes sense.
Oh yeah.
If that makes sense. It was like I'm doing all of this because
you're a young man, bro.
Well, that's the thing too, is that I still don't feel like I'm the man that I'm supposed to be. I don't feel like that.
Right, you're not living up to your own expectations.
Exactly. And you know, I beat myself down a lot about that.
Yeah, you're hard on yourself.
Because
you've always been that way though.
Yeah. And you know, like a lot of people, you know, as far as my wife goes and the kids go, my mom and my brother and my sister, I have a feeling and I have a sense that they look at me like that, like a man.
Well, you are now. I'm saying back then you were a young man. You were going through it, yeah.
But what I'm saying is that I feel as if they always see me that way. I just didn't see it myself.
Right.
And that's where the beating down came in. It was like, no, Rudy, that's not it. You're not a man yet. You're not a man yet. And it was like, I'm already at an age where I'm supposed to be feeling like, you know, already in my prime, you know? And it was like, it was just never enough for me. Anything that I did was never enough, you know? But I learned to overcome it. Like I said, with the patience, I learned to kind of like humble myself a little bit.
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit. Just a little bit, man.
Right.
But another thing too, I want to say a little bit of selfishness.
A little bit of selfishness. I like that one.
A little bit of selfishness. I feel like it doesn't get said enough. You know, you always watch videos on social media, or you always, you know, listen to other people talk. And what's the first thing they always say? Be humble. Be humble. But everybody's circumstances are different. You might be a millionaire and I might be poor, and you're eating on a good, you know, plate with steak and shrimp. And I'm over here eating a bag of
Maruchans.
Government cheese.
Soups. And then you're telling me, hey, be humble. And it's like, that doesn't necessarily work.
How humble can I be?
You know what I mean? And the reason I say be a little bit selfish is because I always live by being humble. And I feel like the consequences that came with it, I didn't understand, because I felt like what I was doing was right. But at the same time, I was giving everything that I had away. Anything extra. If I seen somebody needing help, I'd give them what I had. If I didn't even have it, but I see somebody struggling more than I did, I gave it away. If I got blessed with something, I gave that away. Yeah. And it was like, man, I'm waiting for the blessings, but I had already gotten them.
Yeah, just giving them away.
And I'm just giving them away.
You were being the blessing. You were being the blessing.
You know what I mean? I was giving it away, and I felt like it kind of set me back a lot. It set me back a lot.
It's crazy because you don't think about it in that. Damn, bro, that's you tripping me out right now, because you don't think about it in that moment. Whenever you asked for the blessings and then you finally receive those blessings, and then it's like you're giving out those blessings and you're like, man, what about mine? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, but you became that blessing. That's beautiful, bro.
Yeah.
Like you became the blessing that you were asking for. That's crazy, bro. That's crazy because, man, I've always been that same exact way, bro. Like if I see you and you're like struggling and stuff, you know what I mean? We've been there, you know what I'm saying? Like whenever we were younger, like, I've given you my last $20. You know what I'm saying? Like I've done that lots of times, where it's like, it doesn't matter if that's the last thing that I have, I'm going to give it to you just so I don't have to see you, you know what I mean, struggle. You know what I mean? Not just you, but just anybody, you know what I mean?
In general.
Yeah, in general. And it sucks because, you see a lot of memes nowadays, and like there a lot of them are on point, because one of them said, having a big heart puts you in some messed up situations. It does. A lot of the time. Most of the time. You're going to feel like you're getting the short end of the stick, but that's not really necessarily true. And I like that, bro, because it makes me realize, in a lot of ways, I've been the blessing that I asked for a lot of the time for other people.
And the reason why I put selfishness on there too, I know it was like kind of a new idea to me. It's not even a new idea. It was just something that I've been thinking about for quite a while. I just didn't know how to put it. I didn't want to necessarily put it like that. You know what I mean? I didn't want to put it because selfishness has such a bad label, like
connotation.
It has such
negative connotation to it.
You know what they call it now? They call it self-care.
Self-love. That's what I was gonna say. Self-love,
self-care, loving yourself.
And this month, I don't know if y'all knew, but this month was supposed to be men's mental health.
Really?
Yeah, month. Yeah.
Speaking of that.
And and
about the steroid thing,
Ray, you can't turn yourself up, bro. I was just curious.
Yeah. And I just wanted to let them know, like, I wanted people, as far as men, know that it's okay to be a little bit selfish.
Yeah,
like, it's okay to take care of yourself. It's just like if you're out in the wild, okay, you got to be the first one to eat.
Yeah.
In order to provide for the other your family.
Yeah, it's funny. It's funny. You really did. I didn't understand that as a kid. Like my mom would make my dad a plate, and he'd be the first one to eat. And like, man, I've been here all day. I'm hungry too, And then, being a kid,
Yeah.
And then like, now as being a grown up man, like I see why, because he was out there busting his butt, working in this freaking heat out there, 1,000 degrees.
El solo no.
He's probably a little hungry.
Just a little.
Right, but give this man the big chicken, the big piece of chicken.
That's how it was.
And
that's how it is.
And like I said, especially when it came down to David or to my mom's and stuff, it was just the fact that I started noticing that when I wasn't taking care of myself, I would approach them differently. I would be, irritated, hungry, mad, frustrated. And it was like, okay, Rudy, you got to slow your roll. Like I said, coming back to that self-talk, you got to slow your roll. You got to really like I said, assess the situation.
Yeah, take care of you before you try to take care of them.
You, because in the long run, like I said, that small amount of that self-care, like how you said, right, goes a long way.
Right.
It kind of recharges your battery.
Oh yeah.
It's just like how whenever you get a power nap for 10 minutes, makes a huge difference. And like I said, I never wanted to be selfish, but it's a necessity. Like you have to be sometimes. You have to sometimes just put whatever you got in your hand down. You know what I mean? Okay, let me just take a few minutes for myself. Let me take a breather, and let me recharge real quick. Is what it is.
Sure, bro.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. That's good, man. That's really
perfect.
Yeah, gotta add that in there.
Perfect.
You can't forget that, man.
So,
I mean, but as far as me go, I mean, what about y'all? At least give me one or two values from each of y'all.
I'll let. Who you
have you thought of anything?
Ray, you want to go?
No.
Okay. You want me to go?
You can go, bro.
Okay. Well, you said love, right? For me, it's faith, hope, and love. My values when it comes to being a man.
Yeah.
Just because I feel faith, bro, you need to believe in something. Because you have to believe in a higher power to pull you out of some dark stuff. If you don't, then you're just gonna be in the dark, and you're gonna try to whatever's near you. You're gonna try to help you and sedate you and make you feel good.
Yeah.
Right. In other words, like if you don't believe in something, you'll fall for it.
Yeah. There you go. Thing. Perfect saying. So yeah, faith, hope, bro. If think about the word hope. If you're hopeless, then you're gonna be hopeless. You're not gonna. Nobody's gonna want to be around you because you're hopeless. It's like, who wants to be around somebody who's hopeless?
Yeah.
You want to be hopeful. Like, I hope to go and meet such and such, or I hope to, like today, or I hope to, I can't wait to see Rudy. I was hopeful to see Rudy, hopeful to be at the podcast and have a great podcast.
Yeah.
And it's been great, and so that hope, faith, hope, and love, like you're saying, love, like you gotta, have that selfless kind of love, but at the same time, like you named it, selfish love. You gotta take care of yourself. You gotta, like, honestly, bro, I bought me this shirt today. I was like, I wanna buy me a shirt.
Yeah.
So I went to the store, got me a shirt, and I didn't feel bad.
Looks nice, bro. You should have worn that
golden hat. I know that golden hat. I was like, nah, I don't want to wear it out, but no. So yeah, bro. I mean, I'm taking care of myself, bro. I want to be able to take care of myself, feel good, feel happy, and give that off.
There you go. There you go.
So that's my main values, man. I mean, because I feel like faith, hope, and love, we can go deep into that, but those are my three simple little, Yeah.
Perfect.
No, that's good that you brought up the shirt thing, man. Because I wear my shirts out. They got holes in. They ain't even shirts no more. They're just strings.
Yeah, ain't nothing wrong with it though. And you got it. At least you got it. So that's cool, bro. It's pretty good, Harold.
Man, bro, I think y'all did a great job of sharing y'all's things. The only thing I could think of is just respect, man. Like respect and dignity. You know what I mean? And hard work. You know what I mean? For me, that's what my parents always taught me, bro. Like I learned from them, like, you can, like, a person that works hard, bro, you know what I mean? Like, you can't help but to respect them, bro. They could be the dirtiest dude that walks in the store. Let's say you're at the little store right here at Steve's where they have like a little check cashing place, bro. The dudes come in there with the boots that look like that. You know what I mean? Steel-toed boots.
Yeah.
Dirty ass hands, dirty ass pants, paint all over them, or dirt all in their hands, or their hands are messed
Hard
up.
Workers.
Bleeding at the fingernails and stuff like that. Like, you look at them and you can't mistake them from. You can't mistake, like, you could look at a homeless person. They damn near look homeless or something. Like they just came out of the dirt.
It's like you can't count them out.
Yeah, you can't exclude them. You know what I mean? Like damn, like, you know what I mean? You got to acknowledge them. Like, damn, this dude's a hard ass worker. They say a lot of, they say about people that, like, I've worn out hella shoes. They say you could tell a lot about a man by looking at his shoes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where they go,
Forrest Gump.
where they go, where they went. And that's true, bro.
Life is like a box of chocolates.
That stuck with me though, bro. You know what I mean? You could tell a lot, bro. You know what I mean? Like, if they got some nice shoes, then they probably worked hard for those shoes. Or if they got some messed up shoes, and they probably worked real hard in those shoes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, man, just respect and dignity. I feel like that.
That was another thing too. I wanted to throw integrity out out there. Integrity.
Today was
this month.
That was the month's theme.
Integrity. Yeah. And see, what was even crazy is that, like I said, I haven't seen y'all's recent podcast before, but integrity. I'm really big on that because
let's hear it. Let's hear your side.
I'm just as far as my integrity goes, I didn't have it. I didn't have it when I was younger. You know what I mean? Like I said, I was always just.
I think all of us did. As being young,
Yeah.
I think it's normal or maybe not, but it is.
No, for sure. It's something that's kind of learned.
Over time. And I think it has a lot to do with the self-control too.
Yes.
Because when you're by yourself and it's hard to do the right thing sometimes. Especially when you're
left with something.
Yes, sir.
Man, like brownies.
Yes,
like,
sir.
let me take this brownie.
Our money.
Nobody's gonna say it.
Yeah, no, but I like what
Candy.
you're. I like what you're pointing out because you said I could take this and nobody's gonna know.
Yep.
Like it's just me.
I can do this and nobody's gonna see.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I was listening to Mr. Michael Todd again. Right, I was at the was it yesterday? Yeah, I was at the gym yesterday, and he was just saying like integrity. It's like it's that thing that you do in private.
Right.
Like you basically you're out of the picture. Nobody's thinking about you, but what are you doing whenever nobody's looking? You know what I mean? Like you're working, or you're working out. You know what I mean? Like you just and then you just show up and you look different. You look healthy. It's just like damn, like this person looks like dignified. You know what I mean? Like, it's because he did things in private that you don't know nothing about. He worked really hard for those abs. He really worked really hard for that chest. You know what I mean? Like this guy right here, I was just complimenting him because you're like, not too long ago, brother. Those things are sagging, bro. And now he looks kind of defined, and
I'm
it's
doing it without the roids.
And it's like that's something that, and it's like it's that's something that can't it can't be bought, bro. You can't go to the store and buy that crap.
It out.
You gotta be disciplined. You gotta work out. You gotta be in the private. He worked real hard for that, and you can't. That's something that nobody can take away from you. When you have it, it's something that they can't take from you.
And what's funny too is that I don't know if you guys can tell, but if you ever meet a person with integrity, their energy is different.
Positive.
Their energy is different. Like you can confide in these people. Like you can trust. For some reason, they just have that energy where it's like
that spark.
Yeah, where you just like. Now, for some reason, I feel like I've known you forever. You know what I mean? And I would trust you with my car, or something. You need something, there it is. But
no, I'm good. You want to pause, bro?
Yeah,
let's take a quick break. I gotta take.
All right, I gotta break. All right, y'all, we're back.
All right. So with the whole patience thing too, I just want to let y'all know too. This goes out for the women. These same values could probably go, for the women too.
For anybody.
Because I feel like a lot of our moms had to play like a father role as well. There was some
single mothers.
There was some things that they couldn't teach us, but they tried their best.
Right.
And I just want to give out the shout out to my mom, Edward's mom, Hyro's mom.
Shout out to all the moms, the single moms.
Yeah. And there was probably some values that that probably had to undertake too. Just going through their hardship and their trials.
With kids.
Definitely with kids.
Badass kids at that.
Yeah. I don't know how they did it, honestly. I should have got my ass whooped like 30,000 times.
Oh, I'm sure I did.
Yeah, man.
I think I did. Pretty sure I did.
Yeah. Well, go ahead.
So I didn't go over my.
Oh, you sound way better now.
Values. To be being a man.
Yeah. So
or what a man think. Or
kind of jump off kind of what you said: faith, love, and encouragement.
So like being an encouraging person, like
like encouraging children, wife,
right.
family members, friends,
right?
Just giving words of wisdom if there's any wisdom in there, but that's kind of where I've been here like lately,
encouragement,
just like
bro.
Encouraging,
encouragement. Let me ask you this: where do you draw the inspiration for encouragement when you feel like you least have it? Like where does Ray pull it from?
Well, it's once you've lived the life and kind of seen things and done things, you're like, I've been to like where I'm like at my worst. It's like, oh my God, how am I gonna do this? And then 2 years later, like, oh, look at me now, like totally different from where I was at that point in time.
Mm-hmm.
Totally different
2 years later. I mean, it just takes a little bit of time to change your outcome and your view on things.
Your view.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's kind of like my words of encouragement. Like, just do the thing and kind of just do it. Just do it.
Just Nike.
For example,
just do it. Seriously.
For like, at your age as a young man, like, nobody was there to say, hey, Rudy, you're doing a great job. You're enough. You're enough, bro.
Cause that shit could have really, that really would have came in handy.
Impacted you.
That would have really came in handy for me personally.
I think it could have affected us all. Honestly,
yeah, it could. It does. Yeah. It can affect. It affects us now.
It's not like we ever did that
because
like amongst each other.
Yeah, we did
not much.
Because
not enough.
I think that's where that being hard on myself came from. Is because, like I said, nobody was there to like tell me good job, or nobody was telling me
no cheerleading going on.
Yeah. No, and not saying that I was longing for it, or if I was
I was
but
I feel like I was.
It was just the fact that it's always good to hear that sometimes.
Oh yeah,
I mean, of course. And don't get me wrong, my mom would she would inspire me and tell me things like that, but it wasn't like
it's my mom. She's supposed to say that.
Yeah, well, that too.
It's kind of how the mindset. Like, that's my mom. She's good.
I feel like they did it in a rough way. Like, hey, ponte las pilas. Ándale, levántate. That's all it was. That's all it was. It was just
no. It was definitely not. It was hard to get that. It really was.
And I think a lot of it came from like you wanted to hear it from like people you were around. You know what I mean? But we didn't.
Peers.
We didn't really know.
Yeah,
we
didn't have it.
We didn't have it, so it's like, how could we?
The streets taught us different.
How could we give something we didn't get?
Exactly. And it was like, man, like I said, I feel like if there was a split second, somebody would have told me that, maybe it would have like redirected my direction in life. You know what I mean? And I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm glad and I'm proud of the person I've become today. I feel like in such a short period of in a lifespan, I've learned a lot already. And I'm just constantly just chiseling away, this person I'm becoming, so right now I'm just a piece of slab. I got a couple, rocks chiseled off, but I'm still growing. You know what I mean? I'm still becoming that sculpture, a man that I want to be.
Right.
That I guess you could say it's like almost like a vision of a man that you wish that you had to look up to, but you're becoming that person.
Right.
You're becoming that person for everybody else.
Right.
What you didn't have.
Right. You're becoming who you wish you had.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's good, bro.
For me, it's being present.
Encouragement. I feel like encouragement, we all need amongst us too. Like anywhere we go, I feel like that little bit of encouragement, bro, really can brighten up somebody's day.
Goes a long way.
Yeah. So, or you're gonna say something?
Yeah, like for me lately, I keep on. I know, like if for the listeners, if y'all have listened, I know y'all probably heard, like freaking Shia LaBeouf, bro. He went so hard. I got so many gems, bro, from that. And for his, one of the things that he said was just being useful. His the goal. John Bernthal.
Yeah,
Real Ones podcast. Shout out to the Real Ones podcast. Like my goal was always like be happy. I'm trying to get my happiness, blah blah blah. But now it's like being useful, bro. I like on my nephew's baptism that day.
Oh yeah, I forgot to ask.
Got him baptized. That day. I became a godfather. And
congratulations,
godfather.
Man! I became the godfather.
No, that's one thing that's a great honor.
Yeah, it's a big honor. It's a huge honor. And that day, man, like I was cooking on the grill, making sure everybody got fed. And it's funny because me and my homeboy, we were watching this Marlon Wayans special. Is really good, bro. Y'all should check it out. When y'all get a chance, go check it out. It's
the newest
really
one?
Good. Yeah, it's really good because he was saying, what makes a man. A man shows up. A man shows up. He's the first one to show up, and he's the last one to leave. He's the one that makes the food. He's the last one to eat. You know what I mean?
There it is. Mm-hmm.
And I was like, damn, you know what I mean?
Not unless you do it right.
You.
Yeah,
not unless you do it right.
Big time.
Right?
Yeah, and I was already.
That one looks undercooked.
Right.
That one too. That one too. Right.
Yeah. And it's just like what I've found the most gratification from lately, even though it's freaking tiring, is just being useful, bro. You know, making sure everybody ate that day. And
yes.
You know what I mean? I finally freaking got to lay my head right where your feet are at right there. I freaking laid down in here. I was like, oh my God. I'm tired. I'm done. I'm done. Y'all all ate. And I freaking finally had my plate. You know what I mean? After everybody ate. And it was like this sense of like, hell yeah.
Yeah, like a peace of mind is what it is.
Yeah, not just peace of mind, but it's just like, I'm a man.
I did something.
Like
yeah,
right
I did
now,
something
you can't.
today.
Accomplishment.
Nobody could walk in this room and tell me I'm not a man right now. Like, because your belly is full of the food that I just cooked for you.
Yeah, and you know what's so funny that you brought up the Shia LaBeouf? I was thinking about that earlier today too, because he had said in that same interview, I think, he had said that there was no level or there was no how would I say, there was nothing that you could do that gave you that title as a man. So like he said, he had mentioned, drinking a beer, your first beer, oh, you're a man. Or
I remember
being with a woman, oh, you're a man now.
Mm-hmm.
So there was no
level.
your
first million.
It seemed to me like there was never a level that I could surpass for me to feel that way. It was like I was trying
you were hitting every goal and you still didn't feel like a man.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Like, oh, I got my first car, now I'm a man. Like,
yes. Yes. And it was like, when do you become a man?
I would say,
bro, that's infinity.
You're a man now. I would say you're a man. I would say you're a man, bro.
Yeah.
I guess when it comes to the feelings, I don't always feel like a man because sometimes I feel weak. I feel like a weak man. Does that still disqualify me? I don't know, but I guess when it comes to feelings, bro, that's when I go to God. When it comes to my feelings, when I feel off balance, I feel like just low vibration, low testosterone, whatever you want to call it. I always reach out to God to help me regulate my feelings. And within, I guess you can call that prayer, worship. And bro, I feel recharged. I don't feel the way I feel. And that's how I overcome. And that's how I get through my feelings of feeling weakness or not good enough, not just feel these real feelings that I feel. I come to God, bro. And there's a scripture that I don't know if you want to look it up because I don't remember, but the way I remember it's like basically saying like, I'm greater than your feelings. And I remember that verse and I make it a prayer like, God, I thank you that you're greater than my feelings. Right now, I don't feel good. I don't feel like this. I don't feel supercharged or great or powerful. I feel cruddy, crappy, the worst. And I commune with the Lord and he does something to me, bro. It's unexplainable. You have to experience it for yourself. Anybody that's watching that, you have to experience it for yourself because I live by that now. I live by God's word and it's something you have to experience because people take such and such to make them feel better. I get it. I've been there. Believe me, but it doesn't do any good to my body.
Damn, bro. I've never read this one before. It's 1 John 3:20. It's a little out of context, but it says, even if we feel guilty, God is greater than our feelings and he knows everything.
That's the one. And I make it a prayer, bro. I make it a prayer because I might feel sometimes I just feel like don't want to do nothing. Like when I'm supposed to go, cut the grass or clean the dishes, I don't do it. And I feel bad because I know my wife's going to get on me. And I'm like, I don't have it. So I make it a prayer and then I promise, bro, I get up and do what I need to do after that. I don't like if I never felt it. But that's my faith. That's where my faith lies. Faith, hope, and love. That's where something greater than me. That's where I pull that energy from. Someone greater, something greater than me. It's miraculous. It's whatever you want to call it, supernatural. It helps me. It works for me, But anyway,
that's good stuff. So I'm gonna fall into this next one. I'm gonna fall into this next one, man. It's a little, it's a little vulnerable for me too. I mean, I know especially for you, Rudy. But I would just like to reflect on the fact that,
sorry to interrupt, but this has got to be the last question for me.
All right, that's cool.
I got to get to my wife.
That's cool. We could end it after
this question,
shortly after this. Well, whenever we were growing up, you know, I'm 33 now. Whenever we were growing up, I had, you know, he was like my best friend among other friends. It's Charlie, and he had growing up, he had leukemia, and that was actually Rudy's older brother. You know, and we grew up together. You know, we hung out together. You know, we met in elementary school. We hung out every day, and like his birthday was like on May 10th. Mine was on May 14th. We were always the same age, and you know, we grew up together. Like we're like brothers. You know, I never had a brother, and he was like my brother. And then whenever we turned 21, he passed away, and it was like an atom bomb like dropped on my life. And obviously, I know you were real close to him, right?
Yeah.
With me, Edward, Chris from down the street was real. We're all like a group, you know, one unit. And then like with his passing, like you know we, you know, it just I think
it was a loss.
It's crazy. It's crazy that I bring this up because when we lost him, bro, when I lost him, I feel like it was, you know, when we lost him, when I lost him and stuff like that, it was like that's when the Xanax use started, bro. Like for me, that's like at 21 years old, that's whenever the bars were just like it became a thing, and it was always my thing. It was like I never stopped after that. Like I never really stopped after the age of 21 when I lost Charlie. And so like, you know, for my question to you was just like I'm gonna just answer it first, like for myself, like, you know, how I dealt with it back then. You know, I was dealing with it in a very unhealthy way. Like not that day, but like after I would be like, and I used that, like, you know, the pills and the Xanax to like deal with a lot of things after that, like, you know, and even up until this point, you know what I mean? Like not now, but like, you know, that's how I'll deal with things, by trying to forget.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? By trying to numb the emotions and numb the pain. And I remember like that day you were taking it pretty hard because that was your brother, you know what I'm saying? And I remember telling you that day, like, you know, this isn't the way that he would want you to, like, you know, honor him, you know what I mean? By getting all trashed, you know what I'm saying?
Mm.
And but I was being a hypocrite in those moments because I was doing the same exact thing.
Mm.
So I guess the question is just, you know, how did you deal with it back then versus how do you kind of deal with it now?
So the way I dealt with it then, it was basically the same way you were.
Yeah, self-destructing kind of.
Self-destruction. Yeah. I mean, I was young, and I didn't really.
How old were you then? I
think I was about
teenager, right?
I think I was like 17.
Teenager.
Is what it was, and it hit me. It hit me pretty hard. The thing is that, you know, before it was, you know, his time to go. I think what had happened was that I was kind of being exposed to it little by little. So it kind of got me adjusted to getting me prepared for what was going to happen. And like, I don't know if, you know, you guys knew, but whenever it came down to me and Charlie, our relationship wasn't the greatest in the beginning.
Yeah, I remember some of that.
You know, I'm not gonna say anything bad because in his defense, he can't speak on his behalf, right? And I'm sure there's reasons why he acted the way he did, and you know, towards me, or just the way he lived his life in general. But regardless of how unconnected we were, he was still my older brother, and I still loved him to death, even as we were kids. You know, he would treat me a certain way, but I was still try to show him love. You know what I mean? Like, you're my brother. You're always gonna be my brother, regardless of how much it seemed like he had pushed me away. But you know, as it came closer to his time, I mean, he actually put an effort into trying to reestablish our relationship. You know, as him being an older brother to me, and I didn't realize it. I didn't realize it until it was after, because it just seemed like, man, like he actually cared. He cared. He did care. It was just the fact that because he wasn't on the right path, I guess he felt like he was a bad influence on me, but that wasn't the case. That's not how I seen it. The way I seen it was that, oh, you're just pushing me away because you don't you don't. It seemed almost like we were in competition, and that was never the case. It was just the fact that, hey, I don't want to expose you to this lifestyle. I don't want you to follow me. He was looking out for me, and I thought it was the opposite. Yeah, and the way I dealt with it, I'm not gonna lie to you. There was a point in time, I don't really tell this story like to many people. I think there's only like 2 people that really know up to now. But before he had passed, he had asked me for forgiveness, to forgive him for everything that he did and everything that he felt guilt about. And I couldn't fathom the idea that that situation was happening, like me being in the hospital. I didn't think that would ever happen to me. Nobody does. And I'm gonna be honest with you. I told him I didn't forgive him, during that time. And the reason was, it's not because I hated him or if I had any hatred towards him or I was being stubborn. The thing was is that I didn't want it to go that way. I didn't want him to pass away. I was like, no, this ain't real. This is not gonna happen. I had my belief in that so much. It's like, no, this not it. It's not over yet. And I remember that day too, that they had a chapel inside the hospital, right? And I went straight to the chapel, and it was me by myself. And the chapel was empty, and the doors were closed. And I remember it was just me by myself, and like I broke down like bad. I cried for at least like an hour, and dude, I was asking God. I was like, I was asking God. I said, man, just take me instead of him. You know what I mean? Like that's how much love I have for him. I'm sorry.
You good, bro?
That's how much love I have for him. Like I said, he's my brother. He was always be my brother, and that's who I looked up to.
Sure.
That was kind of like my father figure.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That was like, okay, like he's the man. He's the one, who's leading the way for me, paving the path to who I'm supposed to become. And now all of a sudden, like it just gets taken out, and it's like it's not fair. You know what I mean? But I didn't know what to think after that. Because I was like, man, I asked and I begged and I, try to plead and try to make I wouldn't even say like a bargain. That's the wrong way to put it. But, like I said, I really tried my best to
change God's mind.
Barter. You were bartering with God.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah. And I said, to me, that was the most unselfish thing that I could possibly do. Like I had so much love for him, and along with everybody else in my family, that's what I would do in order to have everybody like safe, to be okay. Like, and it just didn't happen. So, I went down that road of self-destruction, and I'll be honest with you, it was worse back then. And after he had passed away, I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you, I didn't really feel it much anymore because, like I said, I was already kind of prepared. All them times going to the hospital in and out, you kind of
numb yourself.
You already kind of know, like you know what to expect.
I know what to expect, and after that, like I said, it was the bars came in, the drinking, the smoking, and
even more so.
Yeah, and the way I deal with it now, I mean, acceptance.
That's what it is.
Yeah, acceptance.
I gotta accept it and move on. And don't get me wrong. I mean, if I had a chance, to talk to him again, I would tell him like, yeah, I forgive you. I do forgive you. That way he can hear it himself for sure. The next time, like, well, it's a strong feeling. Even though we weren't full-blooded brothers, I was still like my full brother.
Yeah, I forget about that sometimes.
Yeah, and bro, he was like I said, he was the man to me. Like, yeah, I want to be just like him. Growing up, that's my superhero. You know what I mean? Like,
for sure, bro.
And and like I said, right now, like I said, the acceptance thing, it's hard for me to move on. There's times where I think about it, and sometimes like, I break down because I'm like, man, I can't scrub that memory from I can't scrub that from my memory. That memory is always gonna be there. Those last moments, the last laughs, you know what I mean? The things we used to do. And to be honest with you, it still don't feel real. It still doesn't feel real.
Yeah, that's how I feel about my grandpa.
Yeah, it don't feel real. And like I said, it just comes down to the acceptance. I gotta accept that that's the reality, and I gotta move on, because if I stay in that state, that mental state, it's gonna affect everybody around me.
Do you ever try to live your life in a way that you think would honor him, or like to a point where like you think like this would make him proud right here? Like
that's what I feel like I'm doing right now. I'm kind of atoning for my sins. Like I'm doing everything that I'm supposed to do in order to make things right. You know what I mean? As far as being there for my family and stuff, and trying to be that father figure, that male figure within the family, that foundation. I'm just trying to be the foundation for them, and hopefully, you know, hopefully I'm working up, or I'm living up to the standard.
For what it's worth, bro, I think that he'd be real proud, bro, how you taking care of, your mom, you know what I mean, his mom, his brother.
Stepping up.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Even Javi, right? Doesn't Javi still, is he still right there? You know what I mean? So, like, you're taking care of the family, bro. You're literally, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but, sometimes, like I said, that's why I push myself so hard, because,
yeah,
like I said, even I make sure, like how you said, I make sure everybody eats first before I eat.
Right.
I'm usually the last to eat, but because I know, like, okay, this is my priorities right here. I need to make sure they're taken care of first before I take care of myself. And, like I said, I make sure everything, the family's taken care of. And then from there, then it's Rudy time. It's time for Rudy to relax a little bit and get ready for the next day. You know what I mean? That's that motivation too, is like, okay, the things that I couldn't do for him then, I can do now. You know what I mean? I can do these things now. And it's like, it's not just for myself, but it's for other people around
me.
Yeah. And like
I said, bigger picture.
Yeah.
That's good stuff, bro.
Perfect. I know you said okay. So do you feel like your motivation is from guilt? Like you're motivated and you feel like you need to make all things right through the guilt that you feel? Like you feel like I messed up so much, or the only way to repay anyone or everyone, or repay Charlie back, is through, trying to fix everything.
That is what it is. I think you pinpointed it, because I couldn't necessarily, point out what it was or describe how I was feeling, but I think that's exactly what it is. It's the guilt. It's like, how could I mess up so much, right? And get to a point where I didn't want to be. And that became my motivator. You know what I mean? Like, I got to do better. Got to do better. Like, I have to.
Kind of like survivor's guilt is what they call it.
Yeah. Yep. Survivor's remorse.
Is that what it is?
Survivor's remorse?
Yeah, is that what it is?
Yeah.
I got to look more into it, because I really don't. That's my first time hearing it.
It's like,
survivor's guilt.
I've heard about the remorse. You see the loss and you're like, damn, that should have been me.
Yeah.
So you're kind of doing what you would expect him to do if it was the tables were turned.
Exactly. And I think that's like the perfect way to put it, because that's exactly how I feel. And I didn't even know that was a thing.
Do you think that's healthy for you?
In ways, just like how you said earlier, a double-sided blade. Everything's got a positive and a negative.
Cause and effect, yeah.
Yeah, too much of something good can be bad for you too. You know what I mean? And a lot of bad stuff for you, might have, minor good effects on you. But like I said, too much of something can be bad. You know what I mean? Like too much enjoyment or too much, self-indulging, it can be bad for you.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. But I think it motivates me. It's a good thing, but at the same time, it's a bad thing, because like I said, I overdo it. I push myself beyond my limits, and whenever I come crashing down, I crash. I mean, I don't. I'm telling you, I push myself like if I'm running off of I don't know, like jet fuel or something.
Yeah. Like, so do you think there might be another way to look at it?
Yeah, there definitely is.
But do you know it? Anything?
I'm looking for ways. Like I said, that's why I think that is good when I talk to other people.
For sure.
Because that's another thing too. I feel unconnected with the world, because it's like I I keep my circle so small now. It's like,
yeah, I can say that. I do the same thing. Yeah.
I keep my circle so small, and it's like, it's hard to talk to people nowadays because the first thing they want to do is once you turn around,
go tell somebody else.
Go tell somebody else.
Yeah, no, the vulnerability with me is definitely, it's an issue.
It's a trust issue.
Like, it really is. Like, even sometimes with my wife, it's hard to like be vulnerable. Like,
yeah.
But yeah, it's one of those deals where it's just like, I don't want to share this with anybody.
Yeah, and it was difficult for me to share what I just shared, but I feel like right now was the perfect opportunity to kind of just
one step at a
time, you know. And it's a good time to kind of like unload, because it's like, okay, like now people kind of know what I'm going through a little bit, instead of like one-on-one basis, and I don't have to know who knows. I don't have to be concerned about, okay, who's this person going to tell about my situation?
You just told everybody.
Well, of course, but that's what me permitting that. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, here you go. Like,
okay, choose on your term.
On my term, yeah. And it's like the trust issue thing. Like I said, that's always been one of my weak spots too. I got a lot of trust issues, a lot. Even with like how you said with your wife, my wife, his wife. I'm pretty sure every dude's going through it. But the trust issue thing, man.
It's not the thing that I don't trust her. You know, like with what I'm feeling. I just me. It's an issue with me telling her.
Is it a macho thing?
Kinda.
Yeah.
I guess it would be. Really, I don't know, man. It's kind of one of those deals where it's just like I'm.
You feel like you'd be because I can really relate to that. Like, you feel like you can't even say this because you might think like, oh, she might just think that I'm a little bit less of a man. Like, fuck that.
Almost.
I have that.
What is it for you?
I have that a lot.
What is it for you? Like, what is it that doesn't want to make you?
What he just said, almost like not even
like
half a man,
demasculated. Like, I can't let you know that I have all these outpouring of emotions. You're gonna think I'm a
yeah. That's
you know. Sometimes it's not even anything like so significant. It's just like just a little quirk or something that kind of like, you know, kind of like aggravates me.
See, look, I put my.
Let me hear.
Right.
What are you saying? It's like a quirk. So like, okay, basically what you're saying is like, is it fear? Is it fear of what she may think of you?
No, just like I said, just me telling her how I feel.
Yeah, no,
because I know for me a long time,
like me telling her how I feel,
and I could relate. Because my girl always tells me, "Why don't you ever open up to me or anything?" And it's like how you said, it's an issue within me.
Yeah,
it's instilled in me.
It's not anything that it's not anything serious.
Nothing personal.
Nothing personal. It could be just
how you feeling about like, something.
I don't like how you washed this dish, or I don't like.
I think for me, I'm gonna be vulnerable. I feel like, I guess when it came to my wife, I couldn't share some deep things or heavy things because I didn't want to burden her with what I've been feeling, and even the burden of sharing what all I've been feeling, because I feel like my wife is a rock star. She does so much. She's great with the kids, and I feel like my burdens, I throw them in the back because I feel like she has enough.
Yeah, it's gonna weigh her down, maybe.
Your
and
burdens
I'm afraid that
it
is, you know, and so I keep it to myself. But at the same time, it's like I would like to share these things with her, but it's like I don't know if she can handle it. And sometimes she asks me. And then when I do share, there's times wherever, you know, I get that.
Oh God!
Like
you have emotions.
So it discourages me. So I keep it to myself. All right, let me go back to what I was doing,
bro. I think,
but me and my wife have talked about these things. So don't get me wrong. We've talked about it. I've expressed my feelings. I don't want to tell you nothing because of this, and this.
I think,
and sometimes she's overwhelmed. She is overwhelmed, and sometimes I'm telling her. And so it's like, but that's why I feel like it's good to have this. To talk among men.
Yeah, that's actually
we can relate and understand each other.
That's actually what it is right there. It's just that. It's just like I don't want to burden her with my problems. Like I'm trying to be the rock here for her, and just like, oh, let me tell you.
But that's not how we feel at all.
No.
I think that plays an enormous, very, very big part of being a man, bro.
Yeah.
Like that's what I feel like. That's what friends are for. That's what men having other friends are for. That's what that is for.
Yeah.
Like we have friends because of that, and it's
community,
like
bro.
a lot of that, right? And a lot of that is just like that is a huge part of being a man. Like because you know that's not what you're for. You're supposed to be there to make the logical decisions, not the emotional decisions.
Right, exactly.
If you're over here making decisions based off of emotion, you're gonna make some stupid decisions.
Yeah, exactly.
And look, I've been on the other side of the coin where I did spew out my emotions, and it backfired on my ass because, like, you know, the ex would be like, "You're so sensitive. You're so sensitive.
Yeah,
like,
see?
you're weak. You're looking seeming kind of weak over there. Like, you know, that's why they say, like, you know, you can't cry in front of your wife, or you can't cry in front of women. Like, you know, don't cry in front of these people. Like, don't show any kind of weakness, or you're gonna look weak. And it's like that's as a man, that's like you're supposed to keep that standard almost. Like this dude don't even cry. He barely.
Yeah.
I mean, like if he,
I think, bro. I hear that. I know that voice is out there, but I feel like girls can't handle man's feelings. Women, can withstand
right
man's feelings.
I don't think they're supposed to.
Like my wife doesn't now, bro. She's learned. She's gotten to the point where she can hear me out. Yeah, and we've communicated. And now there's even been a better connection, a better. She don't even have to try to correct me or say something, or she just listens to me.
Right.
Yeah.
And I get all her focus, and that's enough. Because whenever she gives me that, or like when I understand because she's tired, kids, all that. She, and I'm like, okay, let me go over here or whatever. Let me go back to what I was doing. So in those moments, I'm like, you don't listen. You know what am I gonna tell you for? You don't listen. But at the same time, in that moment, I gotta understand she's been through a day. Let me circle back and hope and sometimes she's good about asking me later.
Let me ask you this. Let me ask you this.
So
are you
I'm like having to talk to whoever?
I'm very interested in this right now because are you looking to just be heard? You're not looking for answers, right? You're really just looking to be heard.
99% of the time,
you're looking. You just want to be heard. You don't really give a shit what, like, if they have advice to tell you. Like, I'm not looking for you to resolve my problems. I'm looking for you to listen to this.
Let me just vent.
Interesting, bro.
Processing.
Very interesting.
A lot of times when I process and vent, I'm hearing myself. And I'm like, I already know what I need to do. I'm just being a big baby or whatever. Whatever.
Interesting.
And it's like, okay.
Very interesting.
All right. Thanks for listening. Thanks for giving me the time.
All right, that's what I needed.
But
you know what's so funny? Because my girl's the opposite. Like, and I gotta give her like salute. I give her props because it's like she does these things for the kids. She takes care of the house, and then when I get back home, that's the first thing she wants to know. How you doing? What
great,
you been
bro.
doing? You know, like how's your day? My thing is that because I don't share, like I said, I got those trust issues. It's not necessarily.
It's not necessarily a trust issue. It's just like I don't want to relive all that. You know, I don't want to relive that. Like
and it's like I don't want to put that on you. I don't want to put that on you. You've already had a long day.
This is some heavy stuff to carry.
I'll tell you this real quick.
Yeah.
Once I get home, I forget whatever the hell happened.
Nice. Yeah, me too, bro.
Nice.
It's a lot of times I do.
Yeah.
But leave it at work.
It's hard to remember.
Yeah, it's hard. Yeah, it is. Exactly. Like it could have been the worst day of my career or whatever. And then like I get home, like, oh, how you doing?
It's okay.
All right.
Yeah.
It's okay, even though my life is shattering around me.
Yeah. But you know, I take that for granted a lot. You know, I really do. And I don't. Whenever you speak about like your wife, you know. Sometimes she don't want to hear it. I never really experienced that with her. Like she's always been that type to kind of know. And I, not saying that your wife doesn't have good qualities because your wife could have more qualities than mine, you know. But the thing is that with my girl, like I said, I got to give her a lot of props because you know, regardless if she's spitting it or not, she's still gonna try to, you know, come out and try to figure me out, and I like that. Even though I don't necessarily say it, I like when she does it.
Yeah,
that's what's up.
And
she knows.
Another thing too is like, with how you said that sometimes they gotta learn, but you know that's what the partnership is about. That's what the relationship's about. Y'all are growing together.
Right.
So there might be things that she likes that you don't not necessarily know, but you know she's kind of toward like leaning towards like, hey, look, this is what I want, right? Without her telling you necessarily, and you kind of learning new things that she like. You see what I'm saying?
Picking
like
up on it.
Picking up on it. So you both start to grow out of love because some people fall out of love, but the thing is that when you really love somebody, it's not when you lose that feeling. It's whenever you stick around when you least want to be there. You know what I mean? That's real love. That's real love.
Like, I think it's commitment.
Commitment, yeah.
I think it's really about commitment. At least back in the olden days, bro, when the parents would set each other up, or the parents would set the kids up, bro, they didn't know each other. They didn't have time to fall in. They got straight to marry. And then a lot of them lasted many years. And then eventually, I'm sure they fell in love with each other. They learned their habits. I think it's all about showing love. It's all about showing love, I don't know about this falling in love stuff, but I think we're supposed to carry love anyways and love people. Love our wives. Of course, we're going to treat them differently because they're our wives or our spouse compared to another stranger girl down the street at the store. Well, obviously, but I think it's good to have those qualities as the fruits of the spirit, being kind, gentle, forbearing, patient, gentle. We're supposed to be like with everybody, but obviously we have this one, our spouses, we're committed to. That's greater than our feelings. Commitment before God, to me, right? But I feel sometimes, because honestly, bro, our feelings change every day.
They do. Yeah.
Happy one day, sad one. Well, I'm gonna divorce my wife because I'm sad.
Right?
Hell no. I'm committed.
Yeah.
That's my wife, what a man is. Commitment.
My wife sent me a meme. It says, I got to read it, so I'm gonna read it.
Read it.
But it's kind of funny. I think it was Instagram.
Perfect.
And I just saw. Oh, by the way, happy anniversary, bro.
Oh, thanks, bro. Yeah. 4 years.
That was yesterday, right?
Anniversary.
Yeah. It was actually Monday. What's today?
Today is Wednesday.
Yeah, Monday. We went. I uploaded those photos late.
She sends me a bunch of random things like on Instagram and Facebook, and it was a meme that said, after being married so many years, whatever, any argument or any thought of you wanting to leave me, just go take a nap.
Get back with me later. That's hilarious, bro.
Just go take a nap.
That's hilarious because you know who told me that same thing? You all know Josh Garza? Shout out to Josh Garza. I don't know if he listens, but he said that. Josh. He said that one time, bro. He was like, because I would like share with him, like, man, bro, I swear, bro, he's pissed me off, getting on my damn nerves. Like, he's like, when those moments come, bro, you gotta go lay down.
Go lay down. Go take a nap.
Makes sense. He's like, and then come back later, bro.
Yeah.
I was like, man,
everything's changed.
I just want to bring up this scripture real fast because I was looking for a scripture about friends. So this is Proverbs 17:17. It's a friend loves at all times, and a brother is born for adversity. So here's a little like note on the side. It says, true friends love you at all times. Love is a language of the soul. It excites, encourages, and makes friendships meaningful and fun.
Yeah.
So a friend loves at all times.
Me and my wife just box it out.
Wow.
She says it's not fair because she's a girl, but I don't think that.
I don't think that matters, man.
Equality, I think.
You wanted equal rights, but here it is. Here it is.
I mean, she wins a majority of the time, but that
you get your blows in.
I mean,
you get your licks. You get your licks.
Yeah. My brother-in-law, he put me onto this saying, and we'll end it with this. Is that all right? I don't know if y'all want to add, but we were at my sister-in-law's graduation, and I don't know what we were talking about, but he was saying like happy spouse, happy house.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
happy wife, happy life.
Well, he said I said that, right? And he's like,
no.
Yeah, because sometimes you can't always make your, you can't always make to me, I was thinking you can't always make your wife happy, So it's like happy house, happy spouse.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, but anyway, want to end
I'm good. Roll credits. See y'all next time.
Ending.
You know what I'm saying?
Yo, thank you, Rudy.
Once again, thanks, Rudy.
Thanks for sitting in.
Rudy. Good time. We're going to have you on again. Oh, wait.
What's up?
You want to pause the music?
No.
You want to plug anything? Instagram or your work? or where they can find you for some.
Yeah, we didn't even ask you. What do you do for a living, brother?
Matter of fact, so I'm a maintenance man at Field Tech Avionics. I do the janitorial work as well. So I do that, and then I got my side business on the side. And that's Right Away LLC.
Okay.
And then the slogan is "Get the job done the right way."
All right.
Right.
What is the business?
It's landscaping.
Look at that.
Get a hold of you.
You can get a hold of me at 817-805-7471. The number again is 817-805-7471.
All right.
If you need the job done the right way, just get a hold of me.
Hit them up.
Yeah. Let me also do one more thing.
Yeah, go for it, bro.
I told my nieces and my nephews I would do this. I'm going to give a shout out to them.
All right.
So it's going to be a shout out to Fabian, Zamira, Iris, Bradley, August, of course, Batchers, David. Let me also do Anais.
Don't forget anybody, bro.
I'm trying not to.
Chinchilla.
Yeah, Chinchilla. Shout out to Chinchilla. And then there was another one. I'll be honest with you. That my mom went blank after that. But now I appreciate you guys having me on the podcast, and I enjoyed it. It was pretty cool. Like I said, it came out better than I expected.
We want to have you on again.
Yes,
in the future.
Yeah.
Or man, better yet, just start your own, bro.
I need to, but
bro, you need help. Just
you could.
Yeah.
You got it.
Some resources.
All right. Well,
all right.
Appreciate it.
All right, bro.
Turntables. Here we go.